What's up? Happy Homebrew Wednesday, guys. I am here where all the magic happens at Belcher Brewery. And no, that is not my bedroom. That is my fermentation chamber downstairs. Sitting here drinking what I like to call my Nightmare Black IPA. It's really good. Even though I'd probably only give it like a C+, B-. It's really good, but as you guys remember from the SJ Pour experiment, I'm really hard on gradings, so it's good. There's some things I'll tweak, and I'm definitely going to do a review of it and kind of talk about what I did again to sum up the No Sparge Brewing and basically how it turned out. But I think it turned out pretty well. I'm pretty excited about it. But just want to catch you guys up on what's been going on, and then I also want to catch you guys up with some hints, or not hints, a hint of basically how to improve your inside brewing process, specifically how to cool down your wort as quickly as possible while inside and using a wort chiller. But before I go into that, let's check out and see everything that's going on right now. Okay, so as I stated, this is where the magic happens. Let me get down on one knee, try to make this camera a little steadier. So this is my winter warmer. As you can see, the Krausen was up to here. Now it's dipped down a little bit, so this is basically, I'm starting my second week, so, or what is it, I just finished up my first week, yeah, just finished up my first week, going on to my second, so as expected, the fermentation is a little bit slower because of the honey, so I thought, even though I had a mega starter, that I would be able to, move that bad boy over into secondary within a week. It's definitely going to take a full 2 weeks before I can do that. As you can tell from my last video, this is new. It's not a new beer. It's actually been brewed for a while. It's in its secondary now. It was in primary for about 2.5, 3 weeks. This is my wife's cranberry beer. As you can see, the airlock is up, so it's still probably chugging a little bit away, but nothing major's going on, except for the fact that it is sitting on two 16-ounce cans of cranberry. Jellied cranberry. You know the stuff you do for Thanksgiving? The best cranberry for Thanksgiving? No denying that real stuff's no joke. If your cranberry doesn't have rib marks on it, it ain't good cranberry, boys. It's just fact of life. My wife, of course, disagrees, and I'm sure she would unlike this video because of that statement if she could, but I don't allow her to. So that's what's going on there. I am going to move that bad boy over in, what is it, so I just put it on there last week. Next week I'll move it over to tertiary. Larma would be so proud. I'm actually going to do that for my first time ever. My goal is to really clear it out, and hopefully it's going to come out a nice red color, kind of like Dogfish 61. So that's kind of what we're shooting for, but yeah, that's what's going on in the fermentation chamber. As I stated earlier, this is where the magic happens. So let's go upstairs and let me talk to you guys about doing a wort chiller inside. Alrighty guys, so right here, a bucket or a big pot, a submersible aqua pump, and a wort chiller is all you need to get your wort from piping hot, 220 degrees, down to pitching temp in 20 minutes or less. Well, that's not true. You're going to need water and ice as well. So, technically 4 things. I say that because 1, 2, 3... ice and water are the same thing, guys. Let's get real. Just different stages of their life. So, what this is, guys, it is a, let me turn it for you. This is a Rio 2500, 115 volt, 60 hertz, 55 watt submersible aqua pump. And here's the key thing when you're buying your aqua pumps, guys. Make sure they come with the water hose extension or connection. This can come off. When I have 2 hands, I can pull it off, but it's a really tight seal. So once I push it on there, it's pretty much on there, unless I turn it and crank it off. Key thing when using one of these bad boys is make sure, it's kind of hard to see, that's a GFI, that's a GFI. That green light, you want to see lit, that means it's grounded. So, and that is key. So basically, what you're going to do is, you're going to put this in here, fill it up with water. This is submersible, so it always has to have water above. You can see where my finger is. See those lines right there? You should always keep it above there. It's kind of like your pump with beer. If you hear it chugging, it's not good. It needs water. Basically, it needs to be primed. So the reason why I bought this is because I like to brew in the winter on here. It's hard to see because there's dishes everywhere, and that is 100% my fault. I haven't done the dishes yet, but this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 gas burner, and I like to put my pots back here and use the 1, 2, 3 burners, and that works great. And then I just open this window right here, and that's where the steam goes. So it's great for the winter time, especially with my burner. My burner kind of sucks with high winds. I was having trouble with it at SJ's. He's kind of up on a mountain, and the winds were killing my burner. So with days like that, I like to brew in here. But I was having problems because I couldn't show my wort. Because if you could see, this doesn't really work well with connecting. Where's my little guy at? Oh, of course it fell down the sink. Great. So I was having trouble connecting it to this. As you can see, this doesn't work. Also going, please God, please God, please God. Yeah, it doesn't connect. So I had to find a way around it, and I read online, and I saw that a lot of people were doing this, so I decided to try it out. So let me just show you guys how it works. Alrighty guys, so here we go. As you can see, I got water in there. Another thing to do before you ever plug this on, there is no on-off switch. So once you plug it on, that boy is going to start chugging. Make sure that the exhaust part is in the sink. I've had it a couple times where it was like right here, and when the pump kicked on, the pressure caused it to whip around and ended up hitting the floor right down there. And my wife goes, "What's that noise?" I had to come in here to see that, and let's just say quite a few F-bombs were dropped. But here we go. I am, as you can see, going to plug this bad boy in. My depth perception sucks. Oh, and there we go. We're kicking on, and it's filling up the water, and bada bing, bada boom. We're kicking out water. I mean, as you can, there's a decent amount of water coming out. So basically what I do is I fill this bad boy up with, depending on how much ice I have, I fill it up either all the way in the beginning with ice and run it, make sure, you know, there's just enough water basically in there to keep it going. Or I basically just use water, and I'm just going to kill it. No sense in continually running it. So if I don't have enough ice, what I'll do is I'll just use water until I get it down to about 120, 140, and then the wort, and then I'll throw my ice in here, and then that'll really kick it back down and get it down to 80 or below pitching temperature. But yeah, that's all I do, guys. And this thing, the last time I checked on Amazon, it was 68 bucks, but it wasn't, you couldn't find it anymore, and that really sucks because when I bought it, I think this thing was in the low 30s. And when I bought this was in the low 40s. So I mean, you do those two together, that's 70 bucks. And compare that to a plate chiller, which is about 200 bucks. You're saving 130. And you know, I bought this. I've seen some people who have made ones the exact same for about 20 bucks. So you take another 20 off, you're saying for $50, you can get something that is, you know, it's close. I mean, you know, it's pretty close to the same effectiveness as what you would get from a plate chiller, and you're saving yourself 130, 150 bucks. So, I mean, that's just something you can't really beat. So yeah, that's what I use, guys. This is a Rio submersible pump again. It's at a 2500. As long as it's pushing out more than 80 gallons an hour, you're pretty good. That's what you're going to want. And you can find some of those that push at 80 around 19, 20 bucks. So yeah, that's pretty much what you're looking for. Alright guys, so that's the gist of my video. As you can see, during this whole editing process, I'm running low on my beer, so this is going to be very short, this last part. That's basically how I use my wort chiller. Works great for me. As I said, I have been able to get my wort to pitching temp, from boiling to pitching temp in 20 minutes. And that was, you know, constantly putting an ice in there and making sure the water that was in that bucket didn't get too warm. If it did, I would just basically put that exit hose from the wort chiller right down the drain and keep kicking out 60-degree water or below from my tap, depending on the time of year. The key thing to remember is this system also works great in saving water. You can actually, it'll slow down your cooling time because the water coming back in is going to be warmer. So you'll have to kind of put a little bit more ice in, but you can basically recirculate your water, and it saves a lot of water. I know some of you guys, brew tubers that are, you know, down in the south, i.e. Australia, New Zealand, you have some really high taxes on water, so this would help greatly. Yeah, that's the gist of it. So any questions, comments, you know, just put them below or hit me up on Facebook. I hope this helps, guys. I hope this helps you save money. Hope this helps you think outside the box. And you know, anything that anyone can bring to this brew tubing process, excuse me, you know, anything we can bring to this brew tubing process that hasn't been thought of before, just to, you know, get the ideas flowing, is a great thing. It's something we should continue. So, again, questions, comments, hit me up below. That's it. Hope you guys have a happy Homebrew Wednesday. I'm going to enjoy some drinks and, you know, enjoy watching your guys' videos. So, peace.